I call myself as a serial problem solver, current time Durandar, who goes in uncharted territory, solves a problem. So these were our two missions that want to solve for traffic or make our air quality better. If they have to take the same loan which we get at 9-10%, they have to pay 36%. Why? Because they don't have a credit profile. And here comes Yulu, where the moment they land, a friend has told that, okay, you don't have a bike, no problem. Just download this app. Don't come with a short-term view. It is not easy at all. It is rather very, very difficult.
Let's start with you. Who is Amit Gupta and how did this whole Yulu journey begin?
Hi, my name is Amit Gupta. I'm currently co-founder and CEO of Yulu, but I call myself as a serial problem solver. I think in the current time, Durandar, who goes in uncharted territory, solves a problem. And that's what keeps me excited and live. So it has been almost 8 years when I was a resident and also a office commuter in this road called ORR, which used to be a calm road, I would say. Today is a horror, not ORR. And back then I was working with InMobi, living not too far. Life was okay. And started seeing how things getting deteriorated in terms of traffic time. As all of you know, moving in Bangalore, traffic is not cool. And this is probably the worst one. Reminds me of my early days travel to Jakarta and how you will spend 2-3 hours on the road every day. And that's what started happening. And I thought this is a problem worth solving. And I decided to leave InMobi operational duties and started working on Yulu. Idea was that people should use sustainable mobility. They should not use their car. Rather, they should use metro, they should use buses. But the big pain point in that is that how do you reach to a metro station or bus station? And we thought that solving for the first mile, last mile is a big enough problem. And that's how Yulu was born. There's a lot of transition the way we started off with and today where we are. And I'll talk about that, the journey, what all happened. But today we are India's largest electric mobility company on two-wheelers, solving for sustainable mobility, people who need some kind of bike. They don't own it. They need to go for short distances. And also the whole last mile delivery piece, we are solving for their mobility access and kind of changing word positively for them.
मैम हम लोग ईलू बाइक इसलिए यूज कर रहा है. अभी हम लोग बाइक लेता है. बाइक में एक तो नगद कैश तो ले नहीं पाएगा, किस्ती पे लेता है तो उसमें मेंटेनेंस चार्ज लगता है, पेट्रोल ये वो लगता है, ठीक है ना. लेकिन ईलू बाइक हम लोग के लिए इतना ईजी है जो ओनली वीकली रिचार्ज होता है, ऐसे 1300 में ऐसे रिचार्ज होता है और क्या भी नहीं होता है मैम. इसलिए ये हम लोग के लिए बहुत अच्छा बात है कि हमारा शहर में, हमारा बेंगलोर में ईलू चल रहा है. इसकी वजह से हम कमा पा रहे हैं. पूरा दिन चला पाता तो कोई टेंशन नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं होता. क्यों, मेरा इसमें सीट बड़ा सीट दिया हुआ है और हल्का बाइक है. अभी बाइक जो है तो मिनिमम 80 किलो प्लस होता है, ये तो 35-40 किलो के आसपास रहता है.
You've mentioned a commute that was just 3 kilometers but took you 40 minutes. Take us back to that day. What was going through your mind?
So InMobi was actually born in Mumbai. So we were given money from Mumbai Angels. So we were happily, incubated over there, you can say. But very soon we realized that the top talent is in this city, Bangalore, for good reasons. So we moved to Mumbai. We started working out of some office. Then we, spent a good amount of time in a place called Embassy Golf Links. Not too far. It's actually next to Indranagar. We had good time, but we were also growing. The space where we were in started, running out of space. Then we thought, what next? And then we looked around. One option was going to Electronic City. We thought we are not Infosys or service company. Then we thought of Whitefield. We are also not a BPO. So we said, okay, where should we be? And this corridor was the corridor which was giving that flair that we are a product company, we are trying to create something out of India. So we chose this corridor, which is Outer Ring Road, as we all know. And in Mobi office is actually not too far from this office, by the way, next like half a kilometer from here. And then when we got this space, there's a community called Adarsh Palm Retreat, not too far. So life was cool. 3 kilometers you go, and by the way, you can go on service road on both sides back then. So in my car, I will reach office in 6-7 minutes. Life was good. And then just like us, a lot of startup ecosystem started happening. A lot of people started coming. So the commute, which was 6-7 minutes, started becoming 15, 20, 30, 35, 45. And now it was almost like a guessing game that when I'm starting from home, what time I will reach. When you reach office, I'll say everyone, like they say in the US, they talk about, how was your day yesterday, and they will talk about the sports, weather, and all. People in India and Bangalore office will talk about how much strain they got in traffic, who hit you, who yelled at you, or whom you yelled at. So this became a big problem. And to me, this is something which money cannot solve. So even if you are super rich, unless you are, let's say, a politician or super VVIP, where roads can be stopped for you to travel, you are actually have to deal with this traffic. And the place I live in is full of influential people. They're also stuck in the same jam. So money cannot solve for traffic. And also as a sideline, we started seeing the air quality getting deteriorated. So these were our two missions that want to solve for traffic, solve for or make our air quality better. And as you know, 40% of air pollution happens through the petrol, the whole diesel part. So if we can do something where we can find a solution solving two problems, so that became the framework in our head. And we thought that people should not be struggling to move around. And hence, we had to rethink, reimagine how people should be moving. And hence, the Yulu playbook and whatever we have done so far.
Now, here's what a lot of people wonder. Why would a delivery partner rent a Yulu every day when they could just buy a second-hand scooter for 30,000 rupees? Walk us through the real math.
Now, to your point, yeah, can they buy a 30,000 rupees scooter? Answer is that's their wish. But do they have money? Answer is no. You can say, oh, they can take a loan. This the way you get a call, right, every day that, madam, please take this loan. They don't get call. In fact, when they call that I need money, they say, okay, thank you. What collateral do you have? What is your credit rating and all? If they have to take the same loan which we get at 9-10%, they have to pay 36%, sometimes 50% interest rate. Why? Because they don't have a credit profile. And here comes Yulu, where the moment they land, a friend has told that, okay, you don't have a bike, no problem. Just download this app. It's almost like your ability to download a WhatsApp and start chatting. You don't have to take any permission. Same way, Yulu. The moment you land, you come, download Yulu, will tell you, come here, and you pay me 200 rupees. And then you have a bike with you. The bike which you have got is actually is a tool of empowerment, is a tool of livelihood. The 200 rupees which you have given to me, you can go and deliver for someone like a Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, Instamart. And on a given day, typically they make 12 to 1500 rupees. And your life started working. Can he not buy 30,000 rupees second-hand scooter? Answer is yes. Maybe after 1 year, 2 years, from their saving. Not immediately. That option is not there. Now, as far as our economics is concerned, even if you have a 30,000 rupees, you want to buy that Activa, no problem. But here we actually have done something significantly better. A typical user gives me 210 rupees on a given day. They typically ride 75 to 80 kilometers. What do? They delivery, Zepto, Swiggy, whatever, right? If you look at a typical average you get on a two-wheeler in a stop and start type of environment, they stop the bike, they start it again, it consumes a lot of fuel. So for that 70-80 kilometer, they will have to put at least 2 liters of petrol. So the 2 liters of petrol itself is 250 rupees. And then because they have taken a bike, most likely Even if you say that they've taken it from saving, there's a notional cost of EMI. So you have to pay that. Then you also have to go for repair maintenance, which costs you 1,000 rupees per month. And then you have to take insurance. Yulu gives all of this, all four of it, at 200 rupees. It's a no-brainer. I would make an argument that people are using their own petrol scooter. They're actually doing disservice financially to themselves. It makes no sense whatsoever at all for someone to use their own bike, even if they're able to buy it. So economically, something like a Yulu service is far more superior. You get the same amount of money and you pay less. And our claim to fame is that we put more money in your pocket. A petrol scooter like to like will cost you 350 rupees per day. Yulu is giving you 200 rupees. That additional 150 rupees multiplied by 30 is a good 4,500, 5,000 rupees. It's a lot of money. For a person who makes 15 to 20,000 rupees on an average, when they make 5,000 rupees more, it's a dramatic change in their livelihood. So that's the problem we're solving. Those are the metrics. Absolutely financial one. And everyone understands that when they ride Yulu, they get more money in their pocket so that they can send that money to their home and have a better life for their families.
8 years is a long journey, and it couldn't have been all smooth. Was there ever a night where you thought, that's it, let's shut it down?
So when you run a company, there are a lot of ups and downs. In fact, if you look at any company, for that matter, look at Microsoft, or in our case, look at Tata. I don't think so. There's any company which had only happy times. There's always ups and downs. We saw same thing happening in Mobi, where there were time where we almost ran out of money, despite raising too much of capital. But you take a punt, you take some decision, and sometimes it does not work, and you get into those kinds of trouble. So with Yulu, we have had two such instances in our journey, 8 years, where we had almost no money in the bank. Having said that, while those moments happened, but very transparently, there was never ever a moment where we had this thinking of, oh, let me shut it down. So I want to be differentiating these two. We knew what we are doing. We knew the problem we are solving. We also have been very crystal clear that the solution what we have got is actually working. And there's an immense market for us to grow. But even then, you have resources clock ticking. What you want to build sometimes takes more time. Or sometimes there's a bug in that. You need to fix it. And your revenue clocks drop, but your cost keeps on going. So you keep on burning the capital. And we have gone through those stages in our journey where there's limited money in the bank, but the stuff which we think will work requires some more polishing, some more maturity. So, answer to your question, there's never a straight line. You will have ups and downs. Personally, have gone through in Mobi journey. There's ups and downs. So we were never bothered as a team that, oh, there's a hard time, we give up. No, never. But so there was never ever a question of that, oh, let's shut down Yulu. Never.
And finally, for everyone watching who wants to build something, what problems do you wish India's founders were solving?
It's a real problem, better problem than you're trying to solve for where to get an ice cream at 12 in the night. Yeah, those are easy. Those are good ones. Let me not demean them. But there are bigger problems, better problems to solve. I would like my fellow founders to solve for water, clean air. I want my fellow founders to solve for education, healthcare. And across all of these problems, I also see that mobility is a very, very big problem. And if our country has to get to a developed nation, and it will happen only through economic activity, right? And for economic activity to happen, people need to move. And for people to move, you need to make that part effortlessly. So the way you are able to pull your phone So we've done a great job in digital movement, right? Everyone has access to smartphone and data. Effortlessly, you can send a message, watch a video. You're not even thinking twice, or by the make a payment. Outstanding what we have done, digital payment. Effortlessly, in seconds, I can pay you money. It was not there 10 years back, by the way. But now look at it, what we have done as a country. Have we achieved the same thing in movement of people with that effortlessness? Answer is no. Which means there's a lot of problem to be solved. And I would like more founders to come solve the problem of mobility, moving people effortlessly and easily. But when you are doing it, don't come with a short-term view. It is not easy at all. It is rather very, very difficult. I've given you example of an autonomous car or a taxi. I've given you example of Yulu. It took us a while. When you come with an open mindset that you're not force-fitting things. You're not trying to please an investor. You're trying to solve a problem. And the Lego block of making that problem, a solution to that problem, sometime all of the Lego blocks are not there. So be ready to solve all of these issues layer by layer. Play for long. And if it happens, then you are contributing to country's progress. And I would really love to see some of that to happen in my lifetime.